On the Fringe with Dan Radio Style. Hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. I will say, guys, just to kind of throw it up front, man, I came down with some nasty flu stuff last night. I think I've turned the corner, definitely took some Ivers. I'm feeling better. I'm definitely not through the woods, but it's affecting my voice, and we'll see. Hopefully this show comes out all right. Slept horribly last night, so I'm hoping to turn this corner. I think I am. But nonetheless, we've got a lot of people right now that are really pissed off at Vivek and Musk, and they are basically trying to change how we do our visa products. A lot of MAGA people. We've got a lot of people that have not been pro-MAGA, have gone against Trump, have done a lot of stuff, and we're seeing these people come out of the woodworks yet again. I just hope people are finally getting smart enough about all the people that don't like Trump and use every opportunity they can to try to divide us all. These are some evil people, and there are some evil people on our side of the fence, and we need to make sure that we don't let them win. Don't let them control the narrative. I've worked with a lot of people from India, and just brilliant people, and they work very, very hard, very intelligent, and they work cheaper kind of than we tend to, which is kind of messed up, but still nonetheless. It's the way to get some of the best talent in this country so we can actually do the amazing things we need to do. So I think Vivek and Musk are talking about the right stuff, but I think a lot of people are frustrated, have a very black and white policy towards immigration, doesn't believe anybody should be an immigrant here. I definitely don't agree with that in any way, shape, or form. All said, yeah, this is where we're coming at it from. This was just funny. Elon Musk is talking to his AI version of himself. And at first it was like hard to figure out who was who. I think Adrian is the AI version of him, and then Elon Musk is, well, Musk. But it's kind of funny because even Elon's tripping on talking to himself.
Like, I can only imagine the kind of stress you're under.
So funny.
Yeah. Dude, for the past couple of weeks, I basically... Oh, God, I can't do this.
This is too much.
It's so...
Oh, my God.
Look, there's 8 billion people on Earth, so
Yes.
odds are
Yes.
there's someone who sounds like you somewhere, and you are that person.
Yes. It gets worse. It gets worse. It gets so much worse. It gets so much worse.
I can't, honestly, I don't believe you're not me.
Yeah, that's a theory.
You are
That's a
me.
theory. People think I'm legitimately your clone. There's been theories that I'm one of your Neuralink experiments. Can you clarify that I'm not one of your Neuralink experiments, or maybe I am and I wouldn't realize it? Because that shit's vast. How are your monkeys?
Well,
How are your monkeys? I don't know. How's the test subject?
no, the weird thing is you even ask questions in the way that I would ask questions.
Autism.
And your sense of humor is quite similar sense of humor. It's eerie.
Yeah, I know. I still remember the first time. God. Oh, God.
It's funny. It sounds just like Elon. The one that is laughing, who's the actual Elon, sounds less like Elon. And it's just funny how he's tripping out the AI. The AI is like, oh, my God. It's just too funny. Very funny, in fact. Elon Musk, talking about this Mario novel. X focusing on user satisfaction. Blocked accounts lose reach. Elon just revealed X's content strategy at verified users blocked. So what they're kind of doing is if you're a checkbox and you're blocking accounts, the accounts that get blocked by checkmark people are going to lose their reach big time. So that's what Elon Musk is kind of talking about here. Another way of putting it is that the algorithm is trying to maximize probable long-term user seconds. So again, this is a big part of what's actually happening. But yeah, Elon just revealed this content strategy. The platform's AI now aims to maximize unregretted user seconds. Translation, being controversial might get likes, but if credible accounts keep blocking you, X's algorithm will bury your content. It's engagement versus reputation, and reputation wins. I think it's something good for a lot of people out there to continue or to think about, because I know a lot of people on our side of the fence kind of likes to be sensational, likes to say crazy stuff, kind of likes to go on and attack people. But here's the thing. If you do that, it's going to hurt your account. It's going to actually hurt you. So something to consider. I don't know, maybe it's just another reason to be pissed off at Elon Musk. Who knows? Now, this was in line with this whole racism, MAGA, can't have people here from other countries. Like, it's just strange. So cynical Publius put this out. Okay, last post today on this. Had Trump vocally opposed legal immigration during the campaign in the way so many MAGAs are doing today, Kamala Harris would have won the election handedly. The MAGA-Maha coalition was pulled together in large part based on the premise that illegal immigration is bad and legal immigration is good. In the last 24 hours, a bunch of MAGA knuckleheads have chased off a lot of Maha part of the coalition with racist nonsense like, look at what Indians did to Canada. And a lot of Maha types have chased off MAGAs with rhetoric espousing the virtue of H1Bs and ignoring the damage they have caused to average American workers. Like it or not, people, you are all a part of the coalition. And you need to focus on the things that the entire coalition agrees upon and back off on your beliefs that half of the coalition disagrees with. This goes for you Maha people too, who are arguing in favor of H1Bs. If you don't do this, not only do you not get what you want on legal immigration, you also do not get what everybody in the coalition wants on illegal immigration. The Democrats are laughing at you and thanking you for the way that you are undermining the Trump presidency before he even gets into office. And right now, I am speaking to both sides of the H1B debate. Wise up, I beg you. It would be good for all of us to do exactly that. So Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy clashed with MAGA movement over H1B visas, high-skilled immigration. So again, they're realizing that we need high-quality, high-skilled labor in this country. One of the problems we have, and I've got Marjorie Taylor Greene talking about it on the next slide, is we've actually failed in this country to produce any solid Americans that can do this type of stuff. We're hurting for engineers. We're hurting for AI, and especially, we've got a lot of stuff that we need people that have unique knowledge, unique skills, and we seem to not have enough of these people in the United States. A lot of people are too worried about, whether or not they can be the next content creator. At least this is what Marjorie says. And, that almost felt like a dig to people like me, but at the same time, I, at least currently, still have my normal career job. So again, I'm trying to help still. Not sure what's going to happen in the coming days, but I'm still trying to help, right? So there's a lot of things that are kind of going on, but we need to double the numbers, what Musk is saying. The number of people who are super talented engineers and super motivated in the USA is far too low. Think of this like a pro sports team. If you want your team to win the championship, you need to recruit top talent wherever. And so that's what we need. Now, MAGA pushback, Musk's comments were met with fierce criticism from MAGA conservatives who argue that high-skilled immigration threatens job opportunities for American workers. One user asked why Musk would deny opportunities to Americans, prompting a Tesla CEO to clarify that his companies prioritize hiring American workers but face significant talent shortages. Of course, my companies and I would prefer to hire Americans. However, there is a dire shortage of extremely talented and motivated engineers in America. It's true. Elon Musk is responding to this whoever the hell he is. There are over 330 million people in America. Surely there must be enough among them to build your ultimate team. Why would you deny real Americans the opportunity to bring foreigners here? Musk says your understanding of the situation is upside down and backwards. Of course, my companies do. Companies and I would prefer to hire Americans, like he said. So Musk also said, maybe this is helpful clarification. I am referring to bringing in via legal immigration the top 0.1% of the engineering talent as being essential for America to keep winning. This is like bringing the Jokic's or Wembys of the world to help the whole team. This is what we need. And I 100% agree. Vivek says the reason top tech companies often hire foreign-born and first-generation engineers over native Americans isn't because of an innate American IQ deficit, a lazy and wrong explanation. A key part of it comes down to the C word, culture. Tough questions demand tough answers. So that's a lot of what's going on. So we'll see what happens. I don't understand why people are getting so pissed off about this. It really shouldn't be. And it's not as black and white an issue as I think a lot of us want to believe it is. And anybody that's worked in the tech industry knows that we do a lot of H1B visas. That's just very, very common. Jordan Sather was posting this. Oh, I thought this was the Marjorie Taylor Greene thing. Apparently it's not. But yeah. So Big Pharma hates this one simple trick, chlorine dioxide. They don't like that. Yeah, this was supposed to be something different, I think. Needless to say, and legal immigration debate over work visas. Yeah, it's sure. I thought it was the Marjorie Taylor Greene thing. Oh well. National debt grew by $2.5 trillion in 2024, projected to rise. Yeah. As 2025 approaches, Americans' fiscal health is in serious trouble with ballooning federal debt exceeding 100% of GDP. It's projected to get worse. A year ago, the U.S. national debt amounted to more than $33.8 trillion, according to Senate Republican Joint Economic Committee data. As of December 24th, 2024, the debt has climbed to nearly $36.3 trillion, a $2.5 trillion increase within the past 12 months. If the average daily rate of debt growth over the past 3 years continues, the gross national debt will reach $37 trillion within 5 months. We're in a mess. We've got a big old problem that we are dealing with, and we need to get smart about it. I'll say that much. And also, I would say you probably don't want to be in their system at this point. You want to go to drslikesgold.com. drslikesgold.com. Get out of their system. They've got a way for you to get out tax-free and penalty-free from your 401k and your IRA or your IRA. And also, whatever the face value is of these, whether it's $5,000, whether it's $100,000, up to 10% of that face value, they're going to offer you free silver. You're going to get free silver. And if you manage to fill out this data point right here, there's the same 4 data points that they want no matter where you fill it out. If you fill out this particular form, then yes, you're also going to end up with a coin. It's a Ronald Reagan half-ounce silver coin, collectible coin, 0.999% pure silver. Again, it's just a way of saying thank you. It's one of the great things about my good friends at Goldco. They are excellent at what they do. They don't believe all the crazy crap I talk about. That's not what they're about. They're about actually helping transition you from their system into wealth protection, gold and silver kits, answering all your questions, and making it all happen. They've got a whole bunch of suppliers. They're 5-star rated. They are one of the best companies I've ever had the privilege of working with. If you've got a 401k or an IRA, don't stay in their system. Don't stay attached to cash and stocks where we're losing value because of inflation. Get into precious metals where we're spiking right now because of what's happening in the world. It's a good place to protect your wealth. Go to drslikesgold.com, drslikesgold.com. Get out of their system before they get out of you. All right, what student loan borrowers should know before Biden term ends. He gave up on this other one, too, by the way. He's canceled the debt relief that he was going to do. We've heard him talk about doing this a bunch of times, and every single one of them has failed. So the most recent one, I don't even remember when it was. I think they're saying it was December 20th. It failed. Biden's walked it back, and they're no longer going to be doing this debt forgiveness jubilee, if you will. So this is kind of a victory, right? We're moving in the right direction. Now, Biden departs for St. Croix while facing criticism from fellow Democrats regarding his management of the last days in office. I kind of wonder, because we've heard stories that they want to kick him out and maybe put Kamala in so they can be the first woman president, which would just be insane. And so I wonder if that's some of why he's not around, because he doesn't want to make that easy. I still wonder. Don't know. But he is going to St. Croix, which is out there, I think, by that St. Little James Island, oddly. Something to keep in mind. Biden pledges more arms to Ukraine after the Christmas strike. Russia hit Ukraine hard, hit their power structure on Christmas Day. So, of course, Biden's planning on giving more money. I don't know where he's got the money to give. Frankly, I don't think he does. But whatever the case is, he's talking about giving more money to them. Thomas Massie introduces a bill to stop the $4.65 billion Ukraine debt forgiveness scheme. I don't know if you guys remember back earlier in the year, they funded Ukraine, but they did it with a loan. And half of that loan was going to be able to be forgiven by Biden, but the other half of it was going to come up when Trump was in office. So Biden's not going to be able to do anything about the second half. But right now we've got Thomas Massie as well as Rand Paul both trying to keep Joe Biden from being able to forgive this $4.65 billion of debt, instead of making them pay, which is what should happen. So again, this is good stuff. Hopefully they can make it happen. We'll see. Russian strategic Sealift vessel sinks in the Mediterranean in suspicious circumstances. It had an engine room fire, and this is a reasonably new ship. I don't know, like 10 years old or something like that. And had an engine room fire and sank. Now, this thing had a lot of stuff on it. It had these big-ass cranes. It had a 350-ton... these cranes were 350 tons. They had a pair of 45-ton hatches for nuclear reactors on the gigantic 70,000-ton lighter-class icebreaker. So whatever the case was, they had a whole bunch of stuff on there. Very heavy ship, that's for sure. Displacement-wise, I'm quite sure. And so, yeah, it's kind of weird. Here's a little bit of video kind of showing some of the problems, I guess.
Итак, господа, спешу сообщить вам. 23 декабря 2024 года Валкер с нечитаемым названием покинут экипажем в Средиземном море, недалеко от пролива Гибралтар. Покинут экипажем на шлюпке, которую спасает вот тот пароход. Ну а мы, как и многие другие пароходы, все бросили и на подхвате. Вот такие дела, такая вот жизнь. Работа в море. Неизвестно, что там.
Yeah, it looks like it's listing pretty bad in this particular video, so not good. And again, Russia's concerned, to say the least. One's got to wonder if this is some sort of directed energy weapon. Interesting, it has a blue hull, but I don't know if it's got a blue roof. Isn't that funny? Nope, no blue roofs, but a blue hull. Just funny little quink-a-dink. Israel, the Houthis have launched an attack on Tel Aviv's Ben Gurion airport. There's been a lot of extensive extra fighting that's going on. So now the Houthis have launched an attack on the airport. I think they were actually grounding flights too at one point. A lot of people have been doing that lately. I know Russia grounded a bunch of flights as well. American Airlines did not long ago on Christmas Eve. But Israel's military said it had successfully intercepted the missile with no reports of impacts or casualties, so they were able to protect themselves in this particular case. Israel striking Houthi rebels, though, in Yemen's capital, while the Houthi chief says he was meters away. A new round of Israeli airstrikes in Yemen on Thursday targeted the Houthi rebel-held capital and multiple ports, while the World Health Organization's Director General said the bombardment occurred nearby as he prepared to board a flight in Sana'a, and the crew members were injured. So the air traffic control tower, the departure lounge, just a few meters from where we were, and the runways were damaged. So they almost got Tedros. That would have probably been a plus for the world. Dude's a pile of trash. Needless to say, yeah, there's a lot of violence going on, and I'd love to see Trump get back in office so we can start to see some of these things go bye-bye. China's launched the world's largest amphibious assault ship capable of deploying fighter jets as a demonstration of its military power. Again, first off, a lot of people are not qualified to land on any of these ships. This is not a true carrier, so when they say capable of launching fighter jets, I'm not 100% sure what they're talking about because it doesn't have the lip at the end of it like their normal carriers. But we'll play this little video here for a second. My guess is this is more of a drone ship, would be my assumption in the big picture, especially with this crazy long warehouse thing they got on the deck, which is kind of strange. So likely that's where they're keeping a lot of the craft as opposed to below, though I don't know if they've got any elevators. I didn't see any pulled out, but this could be one over there. Whatever the case is, I don't know. This China's talking a lot, and it's always insider reports that keeps very pro-China. And so, again, whatever the case is, I don't think China's doing as well as they want to claim, but we'll see. The FBI was not allowed to brief the U.S. president on evidence that suggested COVID-19 was caused by a lab leak. They literally left these dudes out. They were the ones, I guess, the FBI, former senior scientist at the FBI, alleged the intelligence agency was not invited to a National Intelligence Council briefing with Joe Biden. They were the only ones that was actually claiming it did come from a lab leak. Everyone else was saying that it somehow crossed the barrier, which of course was the narrative they wanted us to believe, the wet market concept. So yeah, we come to find out that the FBI was never even allowed to show up. Now, does that make me feel better? No, because the FBI sucks. So, I don't know, whatever the case is. Thomas Massie, Congress has secretly paid out more than $17 million of your money to quietly settle charges of harassment. Two things, and this is an older story. Two things are worth pointing out. One, the point he makes, which is that Trump, he basically did a hush money, and they tried to bust him for it. Two, Matt Gaetz, his investigation, and then the fact that they released it. I think it'd be funny if these things got released. These people that have had infidelities or sexual harassment and have had to pay taxpayer money to these individuals so they wouldn't, press charges.
Congress has paid over $17 million in hush money for sexual misconduct inside of the offices in these buildings. And what's more is that was taxpayer money, right? The allegation is that President Trump paid $130,000 of his own money. But here in Congress, there may be some on this dais. I mean, I'm for turning loose all of these records. Who in here has had the taxpayer pay for their sexual misconduct charges, the hush money? I bet there's some over there. There may be some over here. I don't know, but I do know it's taxpayer money, and I do know not a single penny of it has been turned in as a campaign finance expense. Is the FEC going to investigate the $17 million that Congress has paid to settle, behind closed doors these sexual misconduct allegations?
Congressman, if a complaint were to come to us about it, I'm sure it would be thoroughly investigated.
Yeah, thoroughly investigated. Yeah, tough. tough. God, I'm having a hard time this show. I apologize, guys. Toyota, Ford, and General Motors are going to be joining the sprint to donate millions to Trump's inauguration fund. It's funny how it's always $1 million, $1 million. I don't know if that's the max or what, but Meta, everyone, Toyota, Honda, who else? There's a whole bunch of people. I think Bezos also was going to give $1 million. So a lot of these guys are giving $1 million to Trump's inauguration fund as a means of probably getting some special favor from him. Interesting. Panama president rules out talks with Trump over canal threat. Yeah. Again, I look forward to seeing this play out. This is going to be very interesting. I think that and the what we got going on in Canada is going to be a lot of fun. Greenland, too. I mean, those three places, Trump's talking some crazy talk, and I love it. I love it. So, Panamanian president, he's like, no, China's not running stuff. We're not going to talk to you anyway. I have a funny feeling that there will be a blockade at some point if they don't play the game properly. I think China would have a very hard time supporting an anti-blockade, that's for sure. So we'll see what happens. It should be a very interesting time in history when we finally get to that point in time. Okay, Donald Trump, this thing's popped up in a lot of weird places where it just doesn't make sense. I don't know, they're attaching it to all sorts of stuff. Dan Scavino had it attached to something, but President Donald Trump, truth, where are you? When are you coming to the center of the universe, Mar-a-Lago? Bill Gates asked to come tonight. We miss you, and X. New Year's Eve is going to be amazing. Donald J. Trump. I don't know if this is because he wants Bill Gates to come or if he's trying to get Musk to come back. I have no idea. No idea what's going on. Crazy stuff. Now, we got some messed up stuff going on with some of the governors and I got a state rep thing. It's kind of cool. But Gavin Newsom, he's back in the news. Apparently, there's $24 billion that is missing. And he vetoed a bill that would have actually have audited him. He vetoed the bill. He doesn't obviously want to be audited. He says he's vetoing the bill that audits my spending on homelessness. $24 billion is missing. And yeah, he's giving it to friends, probably his donors. Just spending California's taxpayer money and giving it to whoever he wants for favor, not to actually try to help the state out. I can't wait again till the truth starts to come out about Gavin Newsom and also Hochul. New York is going to force oil and gas companies to pay reparations for climate change damage. Again, here's another situation where Hochul's going to go after companies that she deems negative. And any company that does business in New York is, well, stupid. I mean, really. New York and Delaware are definitely two places that you do not want to incorporate or do business in any way, shape, or form, especially if you're conservative. So yeah, she's going to actually try to go after the oil and gas companies and make them pay reparations. This is just a money grab is all it is. That's stupid as well. San Francisco Transit employees fired for refusing the COVID shots. Well, they won over $1 million each. Again, great job, San Francisco. This is Pelosi's neck of the woods. 6 former public transit employees all won their lawsuit, and they get $1 million bucks each. Good on them. That's awesome. House Democrats allegedly may receive pardon and flip to red, former congressman claims. Former Congressman George Santos is talking about it. The guy just loves trying to stay in the news. But the individual is Rep. Henry Queller, and he's a Democrat from Texas, and he is maybe going to get a pardon, and at which time they think he's going to switch parties, which could be very, very interesting. I believe Queller's one of the House members, and so he is going to, he's hearing me on everything. What is going on? Losing my mind. But he is going to try to, basically switch a sitting Democrat in the House to a Republican. If we do that a few more times, that's going to take that little gap and make it much, much bigger. So that's pretty cool. We'll see if it actually happens or when it happens or how it happens for that matter. Illegal migrant indicted on murder charges after woman is burned to death on the subway. Thought it was a dude, so I was wrong on that one. There was a cop that said remember his name, say his name, whatever it was. I thought he was the one that actually got burnt, but yeah, I caught some woman on fire. I didn't watch the video. It's just the idea of watching someone burn is especially to death is just beyond reproach. I can't do that. But yeah, Zepita's attorney has told the judge he spoke to his client Friday, asked permission to waive his client's appearance. And so this dude's, he's going downtown, that's for sure. So what's the leading cause of death in the United States? This might surprise you, actually. Check this out.
The leading cause of death in the United States is medical intervention. Medical intervention kills about 1 million people a year. Doctors kill over 1 million people a year, and people go to their doctor and think nothing of it. The problem with our medical doctors is that these very good people make the biggest mistake of their life, and they go to medical school. 85% of what they're taught is unscientific nonsense. And then they're cut loose on the general population to practice unscientific nonsense. The medicine we have is now so far behind the science that it is impossible to bring it up to date. We have to take the medicine we have and discard it and start over. Where did we ever get the idea that we can help a sick person if we give them poison? It's a pretty stupid system, but it makes enormous amounts of money, and the drug companies have enormous power.
Yeah, enormous power, enormous money. And this is part of the problem that we need to fix. We've just got a very broken system. How quickly we go after it and how quickly we fix this is anybody's guess. Urgent recall for pet food contaminated with bird flu is issued after a cat dies. I don't know, it seems kind of stupid, but it was a good reminder of, well, one I think is one of the best products I've got under my arsenal. I've got a new one that I'm going to be bringing soon, STEM Active. This stuff's awesome. We'll talk about it more in about a week, especially when I want to get better, but I've been taking it for about a week, and I'm actually starting to notice differences like in my skin. There's a couple different products that I'm taking, but my skin looks a little better on my face especially, and it's a trip, and we'll talk more about that. But Pet Club, they don't put any crazy food or chemicals or sickness. They don't have any of that stuff in their food. Their food's just awesome, Nutritional Goodness. On top of that, it's got that mushroom, Coriolus versicolor. That mushroom is extremely helpful for the immune system. I've also been taking that as well. And it's funny, I've actually noticed a few positive things with taking these things. It's weird. You don't think about it until, like, you get a ways down the road, but there's a lot of health issues that I haven't had that I sometimes commonly have. It's just weird. It's awesome. But they're great products. So this Enforce Plus, it's got that Coriolus versicolor in it. For every 50 pounds of weight that you have, you should take one pill. So if you weigh 150, that's 3 pills a day. If you weigh 200, it's 4 pills a day, right? You get the math. But this is incredible stuff. Now, the funny part, or the best part, really, is you can actually get this for people, dogs, cats, and horses. And these products help our little four-legged creatures with their immune systems, and in some cases when they've got problems or compromised immune systems. A lot of people have noticed significant differences and changes when they start using these products. So dogs, the mush puppy is the really common one. They've also got Mojos for dogs and cats. Cats don't like mush puppies, but cats do like Mojos. Mojo's a liver treat that's got that Coriolus versicolor. A mush puppy is essentially just a cookie. So dogs like cookies, cats don't like cookies. But you've got special sauce. You've got this for cats and dogs. And you've also got different kinds of food. And so this is a good way. If you've got a pet that's maybe not eating enough because he's a little unhealthy, this special sauce is a great way to add some extra calories as well as some extra health. They've also got some really, really awesome products for food. I mean, they've got freeze-dried food, and you add a little water, and it grows 4 times the size, so it doesn't take up a lot of space. They've got the Chill Doggies. That's another supplement that dogs like. You pull it out of the freezer, and they're all stoked, or fridge, I guess. Got a lot of great products like coffee. They got the cookies. They even do a 4-pack now. You can check out all this great stuff. Go to danradiostyle.petclub247.com. That's danradiostyle.petclub247.com. Make sure you get in on this. This is some great products, and especially for people. It's made a huge difference in the big picture, and it helps a lot. So keep everything fired up, and even sometimes you'll still get sick. My girlfriend's the one that kind of got me sick this time around, but whatever. I turned the corner quickly, and I think a lot of it, 1, the Ivers, and 2, this helps a lot. So something to consider. Go to danradiostyle.petclub247.com, danradiostyle.petclub247.com, and make that step. Make a huge difference for you. Some weird political stuff going on in the world right now. German president dissolves parliament for a February 23rd snap election. Oh, snap. But that's going to be happening. Chancellor Olaf Scholz, his 3-way coalition, especially in difficult times like now, stability requires a government capable of acting and reliable majorities in parliament, which was why early elections were the right way forward with Germany, Steinmeier said in Berlin. So we'll see. They're doing that, and then we've also got some pretty big news going on in England. Nigel Farage's party has just become the largest party ever, and it's the newest party, and it's bigger than the oldest party on this planet. Kind of a trip. Check this out. It's very cool.
The numbers for reform have overtaken the Conservatives. Your reaction?
Incredible. Over 15,000 people have joined us and given us their 25 quids over the last 4 days. This is an historic moment when the newest party in British politics overtakes the oldest existing political party in the world. Something is happening. So, of course, I'm delighted.
And, I mean, you really feel that momentum that in 2025 something special is about to happen, do you?
Yes. I mean, when you think this has happened organically, we haven't advertised, we haven't had full pages in newspapers. This is word of mouth. It's people getting together over Christmas and talking to friends and family and saying, you know what, something's got to be done.
Big time. Big time, something's got to be done. So that's a big deal that's going on there. Huge.
The numbers.
So we'll see what happens in that as well. South Korea opposition says it will vote to impeach acting President Han. I believe they actually did, in fact, vote to impeach him. A total of 192 lawmakers voted for his impeachment, more than 151 votes needed for it to succeed. Prime Minister Han took over the role after President Yoon was impeached by Parliament following his failed attempt to impose martial law on December 3rd. I don't know if this dude's a good guy or a bad guy. No idea. I'm assuming he's bad, but whatever the case is, he's no longer there. That's for sure. We'll see what continues to happen. Russia's got a pretty nasty oil leak going on. I guess they've got 2 wreckages, oil tankers, that are shipwrecked in the Kerch Strait and they've already contaminated dozens of kilometers of coastline. Russia's kicking this up a notch as far as the problem this is for the environment. This just kills wildlife and everything else. This is really horrible. Hopefully they can get it under control, but we'll see what happens. CNN has voted Man of the Year, Scott Jennings. This dude's awesome. He's like a lot of people are saying, making CNN great again. Like he's actually somebody that's worth listening to. I don't know if they got something here. How long is this? We'll check it out.
Democrats who say, oh, in private meetings, I've seen Joe Biden do cartwheels and handstands while doing trigonometry while solving all the nation's problems. We now know that every single person who said that has been lying to the American people. One day Donald Trump couldn't hold a glass of water and we had like every medical person coming out of the woodwork. Should we have the 25th Amendment? Joe Biden could barely walk up the stairs. I would argue.
No proof that tech companies colluded to do this. This is nonsense, and he knows it. No, I'm sorry.
There was a
major
institutional effort.
No, there was absolutely dozens and dozens of them.
Was the New York Post thrown off Twitter?
They were, and then they. Scott, let me try again.
The story off Twitter.
Scott,
let's let Kara finish, because she's actually done. She's done the work.
It's really hard to deal with you.
You want to insult me? Go ahead.
No.
If you called Kentucky Fried Chicken and said, I'd like to interview Colonel Sanders. Now, his face is on the bucket. He doesn't make the chicken anymore. In fact, he's not even alive anymore. This is what the Democrats are asking people to do. Vote for the face on the bucket. He was fine and he's strong and then he's fine today. Nobody believes that. And I just think at some point, then why isn't he running?
It's organic. The entire Kamala Harris campaign has been organic. And so now we're...
What? Organic. This is the literal most manufactured presidential campaign ever. She didn't even run. Well, quite a few people will vote for Harris, so I think we should all open up a head examination doctor's office. We'll have plenty of people to...
In all those categories.
A lot of men think Democrats care more about dudes who want to become women than dudes who just want to be dudes.
Well,
it's pretty apparent the disdain with which they hold half of the country in.
It's not true.
That's crazy, Scott.
I'm sorry. I'm just reading the journalism. I'm pro-journalist here. I'm reading the journalism about Hunter Biden running the ship here. She's like a true double threat. You know, she's terrible on her feet when she gets unexpected questions, and simultaneously, she can't even answer the expected questions. You give me too much credit. I wish I had some billionaire friends. You know, what's a mistake you've made? Nothing. What's a weakness you have? Nothing. What's the first law you want to pass? Nothing. What's a policy difference between you and Joe Biden? Nothing. Over and over and over. Empty, empty, empty. If she were an animal, she'd be a duck-billed platitude.
But look,
it's a total... In Walls himself, who gave the most disastrous response to a question about his own dishonesty about being in Tiananmen Square that I've ever heard. Effectively, what he has said is, sorry, guys, I'm too dumb to tell the truth. Fabrications in his own resume. And his answer was essentially, me no understand words good. I mean, he's a buffoon.
Kamala Harris and Tim Walz believes is that it's none of your business what women do with their body. And so stay out of our doctor's offices and stay out of our bedrooms.
Well, I guess I'll have to speak up for the babies. They're not here to speak for themselves. Lord have mercy.
Thank God for him. He's made it a little better, making CNN great again. And I agree with him. Like, thank God we're looking out for the kiddies. That's important stuff. Judge explodes at JayZ in child rape case and rules against rapper after relentless courtroom plot. Apparently this girl was 13 when she was raped by JayZ. JayZ was trying to get her name exposed to the public. The judge was not going to have it. And she said, no, not going to do it. We're going to leave her sealed for now. And she was a little unhappy with JayZ. So these things are starting to fall apart for Diddy and JayZ as well. We'll see, again, how things continue to play out. And finally, Richard Parsons. He's a steady leader at Time Warner and Citi, and he has died at 76. He was one of the leading black corporate executives of his generation, studying pilot for media and financial institutions in a moment of boardroom and market turbulence. Again, he was on the board of a couple different companies. It's always interesting when certain people stop being with us. Again, I think God chooses these things, not me, not us. That's for sure. We got a lot going on, guys. I've got a great music show coming up, and I'll be honest with you, I got this show done early so I can upload it, and I'm going to lie down and try to take a nap for a couple hours because I am freaking beat. And hopefully I can get some energy for my wonderful afternoon show. It sucks being sick for that. All said, we're going to do this. We're going to rock and roll. And I've got some great music. B-52s are inspiring this particular show, and I've got some really good stuff. So please stick around and check that out at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central today, Friday, and hopefully you enjoy the show. All said, we've got a lot happening, and things are happening very quickly. we are making a difference. Let's not fight each other. Let's not get onto this whole MAGA hates immigration thing. Let's be kind of careful how we phrase things. We need talented people in this country. Please know that. Where we go one, we go all. It's on the Fringe with Dan Radio Style.